and I had my biggest hit at Universal, which I think I told you.
Hard, but you've managed to do it over the years.
I managed to do it. The biggest load of crap we have.
So you went from advertising into Universal?
When Seagram's took over Polygram, they became Universal Music. And Max Hull was my boss in the UK. Loved Max dearly. He would always make a point that the biggest deal we ever made, and I don't know if you've ever met Max, but he's got a really good sense of humor.
I've had to rewrite my speech and take all the swear words out.
He would always say, you know, Hans made the biggest worldwide deal for Universal by selling Chivas Regal, the biggest load of crap we have.
That was the biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
And at full price. The thing is that the theme line for Chivas was "When You Know." Like, when you know, Chivas Regal, we don't have to tell you, right? So, I was out with the Chivas boys. They liked their drinking and their elephant polo in Sri Lanka. So, having been born in Sri Lanka, they got along with me because they loved Sri Lanka and invited me to elephant polo tournaments. We used to always also go to these karaoke places because it's where they made their money. And it was also the best place to pitch ideas. So I said, look, you know, your theme line is "When You Know." Yeah, Hans, great. We know that. So why don't you do a series like "When You Know Jazz," "When You Know Pop," "When You Know Rock"? Great. How do we do it? Well, I'll sell you the back catalog, right? So what I did was sell them like real crap. Status Quo. Just horrible music, but it came under "When You Know Pop, Rock," and blah, blah, blah. And when they tallied up the numbers, it came to, and I know this number very well, 862,000 units for the region, which she was bought from us full price and was sold with a bottle of Chivas at every duty-free counter. So for Max and everyone, it was like, how the hell did you do that?
Hard, but you've managed to do it over the years.
I managed to do it, yeah.
So after Polygram, what happened? You stayed in the music industry?
No, Polygram became Universal, and I had my biggest hit at Universal, which I think I told you, which is when Boyz II Men decided that they were great songwriters, and they were leaving because they wanted to record their own music. But, you know, they sold fairly well, and we didn't want them to go. And Max created a group to resurrect certain acts because Cher had a big hit with "Believe" at that time. Do you believe in life after love? So Max wanted Sheena Easton to be the new Cher. So he tried to make Sheena Easton very sexy and everything. It was miserable track, terrible video, but he was our boss, right? And no one really had the guts to say, Jesus, Max, that's horrible, you know, because he debuted the video for us, right? And we went, geez, yeah, it's pretty bloody horrible, you know. And then you had the guys coming in from Germany, and they always had the same kind of Rammstein and Kraftwerk, and, you know, the best of Jimi Hendrix. So then came this whole Boys to Men fiasco, and we gave them $6 million to upfront to do an idea I thought they should do from an A&R point of view, which was a Motown tribute album, and because we had Motown, and we had people like Smokey and Stevie, maybe Diana Ross or Tammy Terrell. Anyway, they balked at that idea, so we had this whole idea of Boys to Men doing Motown, and it was a good idea because Motown, you know, all those Holland Dozier, Holland songs were just brilliant.
Amazing songs, yeah.
Brilliant. And so it was a question of, well, who could do this? So Max went off to Germany and came back. He said he found the right guy to do it. It was Rick Astley, you know. I had nothing against Rick Astley. But Rick Astley, Max, he said, yeah, you know, he's got a slight problem. He doesn't like to fly, but, you know, we can take the train. I said, so how much touring is he going to do if he's going to take the train and doesn't like to fly? We're not going to be able to take him to the States, which has a huge Motown market, right? So then Max kind of got a little peeved with me, and he says, well, you know, who do you think we should have? I said, I think we should have Michael McDonald.
Like a fool, I went to stay too long.
And I got hold of Michael McDonald through Stephen Bishop, and he wasn't happy at MCA. He was doing sort of country and brassy versions of White Christmas when I heard him. And we pitched the idea of him doing Motown. But at that time, I was making plans to leave Universal because my old mates from Polygram, dear Munz and Levy, and the Biscuit Bungler, they were back at EMI, right? So they were saying, come on, friendship, right?
Get the band back together.
Well, whatever band that was. So anyway, you know, loyalty is a bitch. So, and Munz and Levy were always good to me, and they said, you've got to come and be part of the new band. And so I went there, and I looked at our international roster, right? So the leading two acts were two of your favorites, Atomic Kitten and Blue. I think you went out
I went
with
out with
Duncan,
Duncan
didn't
before
you?
he went gay.
That's a shame.
The other act we had was, you know, the guy everyone thought would never make it. It was Robbie Williams. You know, it was like, you know, it was all Gary Barlow, right? And this short, fat kid who can't sing. I mean, he had a minor hit with the George Michael thing, 1999 or
Freedom, yeah.
Freedom 1999.
Yeah.
I think it was called. So we had a minor hit with that, and then suddenly, you know, we were swamped with new acts, like this new band called Coldplay. First album, Parachutes, wasn't a big hit, but
Interesting.
yeah, and like I said, I just joined EMI and I didn't know how to use the computer or anything. So I was dictating this to my PA at that time, Parachutes, local girl. She didn't know the EMI catalog. This email goes to the world, right? Copying Levy, Munz, and she'd type. I didn't look at what she, you know, I just dictated it. parachutes was pair of shoes all throughout my email. You all need to get behind this
Pair of
album,
shoes.
pair of shoes, right? Want to hear "Come Away with Me" again, and I'm going, oh, again.
Suddenly it's a long way from Atomic Kitten.
I knew a hit, and I was a good A&R guy.